Planet Dolan.
From whether or not deaf people can hear their own thoughts, to what the sun is made out of, we answer 10 of your most burning questions about life.
Hey, I'm... Ooh. Hey, Nixium. How's it going?
Hi. Okay. I'm Nixium, and I'm here to answer your questions with the utmost truth.
Gabrielle Price asks, why do earthquakes cause tsunamis?
Beneath the calm of the ocean, living in the deep crevasses of the sea, lives an evil giant. And then there's this big 10,000 foot, no, 50,000 foot snake monster with like these huge jaws, and it's big, and it's fat, and has a ton of mangled, disgusting teeth to tear you apart with.
Why does nobody understand me?
Earthquakes that occur underwater displace the ocean floor, disturbing the water on the surface and creating waves. It is usually a magnitude quake of over 7.5 that causes a tsunami, and it affects such a large area of the ocean floor that the waves can travel great distances. MacBoss123 asks, is there another planet in space that looks like Earth?
There is one other planet like ours, but there's no talking demons or animals running around. It's only the humans that talk, and the birds, and the other animals aren't big, but small, tiny things that just tweet and meow at you. I hear it's really boring there.
Other planets have been discovered that could resemble Earth. These are found within the hospitable zone of other stars. Kepler 186f is a planet that is a similar size to Earth, and Kepler 22b is 2.4 times the Earth's size. Although both these planets orbit stars in the hospitable zone, it is only assumed that they may be rocky, and therefore possibly contain water.
Hey Melissa, have you seen Dolan around? I would really like to ask him where he's been. It's been a long time since I've seen him. Wait, what? What did you just call me?
Epic Gaming 001 asks, can deaf people hear their own thoughts?
I don't know, let's try it out. Man, I'm looking good today. I'm looking really amazing. My hair looks good, doesn't it? I have the chiseled muscles of a god. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Everything seems to check out just fine.
Generally, deaf people do not have an inner voice. People who are born deaf have learned sign language and will instead think in their own sign language. Much like we hear words with our inner voice, they can see images in words. It is possible, though, for a deaf person who has had vocal training to hear words, as their brain will create the sounds. Someone interwebs asks, did a steampunk era exist? And if so, when?
Oh yeah, it most definitely did exist. It was actually coined as the steampunk era because everything was covered in steam and shrouded with mist, which made it hard to see. It didn't help that people didn't wear clothes either, so that just made things even steamier. Because of that, naturally everyone forgot about it. Since then, there's nothing really to see.
A real steampunk era did not exist, as the term steampunk only came to use in 1987. It refers more to science fiction and is a subculture. It is inspired by a real time period, however, the Victorian era. This was during the 19th century when steam was the dominant form of power, and steampunk takes inspiration from the technology, style, and fiction of the day. For example, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. I bet you would make things extra steamy if you were around back in that era.
What?
Oh, nothing. Planet Dolan is the best asks, what is the sun made from?
Long ago, before this world had a name, and before creatures first walked upon its surface, there was I, Nixium, and the god Soul, the fire demon. For years we fought, the power of fire and ice, striking and clashing, forming the world as you see it today. The oceans, the lakes, the mountains, all of it. Until one day, I struck down my fiery enemy, and I threw his corpse into the heavens. So what is the sun made out of, you ask? Pure evil that I saved the world from many, many years ago. But I never get thanked for it. By anybody. You guys are jerks.
The sun is made entirely from hot gases that undergo nuclear fusion at temperatures of up to 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. It consists mainly of hydrogen at 70%, and though the immense gravitational forces creates helium, 28%. 1.5 is made from carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, while the remainder consists of neon, iron, silicon, magnesium, and sulfur. Lil McMartian asks, what exactly is a virus?
A virus acts like a debuff in the sense that it's a temporary spell that can lower an opponent's HP. The thing with debuffs or any major injuries is you can simply cure them with a potion. Here, watch. Potion. Oh boy. There. Good as new.
Viruses are microorganisms that act as parasites, using other cells to reproduce. They do this by latching onto a host cell and inserting their genetic material. When the host cell reproduces, it also reproduces the virus, helping it to spread. Viruses are microscopic and affect all living things.
If you have a parasite, you should just drink a potion. It would sort you right out. It'd sort you right out.
Well, actually, Nixium, a potion doesn't just, Oh, you know what? You're right. What am I saying? Blue Blade Gamer asks, how long has the idea of aliens been around?
Well, aliens are real, so naturally everyone believes in them. But the reason why there's no proof is every last molecule of them is destroyed by me and my mighty legendary blade that I used to fight them off with. Again, world, you're welcome.
The idea that there were likely other worlds and other beings that inhabit those worlds goes back to ancient Greece. In the Middle Ages, Nicholas of Cusa speculated that there were beings out there more enlightened than humans. The first work of science fiction dealing with the topic was Kepler's Somnium, written in 1608, which imagined other beings living on the moon. Chicken Pellets 213 asks, why do people have hair? What would happen if nobody had hair?
The more hair you have indicates how strong and brave you are, and how amazing of a warrior you've become. Naturally, I have a lot, especially in places I'm not allowed to show you. And that's because I'm just so courageous and heroic.
The hair on our head protects us from the sun. Eyelashes stop dust getting in our eyes, and the fine hairs that cover the skin make us more sensitive to touch. Hair also aids us in sweating, which cools down the body. If humans were no longer hairy, it would likely not make much of a difference, since we are already a lot less hairy than our ancestors and have clothing to keep us warm.
Wait, Melissa, seriously, I think you're forgetting about the part about being brave and heroic and awesome.
What about fur or feathers, Nixium?
Oh, well, yeah, feathers and fur, those work too. I fought many a beast that put up an admirable fight that was rocking some puffy coats of fur. It was great. It was epic.
You know just what to say. Planet Worth Nothing asks, where did Black Friday come from?
Because the first Friday was the day that I cast the ruin of the sun into the sky and locked it away in the heavens for all eternity. 'Twas a dark day. There were no streetlights or electricity. It was only torches and a few lanterns lit by candle. A consuming void of nothing that lingered all around you. Until the sun recovered all of its light, people lived in fear within the darkness, for there were creatures and eyes lingering in the mist, watching and waiting to consume anyone who dared step into the void alone.
The official origin refers to shops going into the black, an accounting term that meant going into profit. Since it was the start of the holiday shopping season and there were sales, the shops would go from making a loss to profit. The real origin is thought to have started with the Philadelphia police in the 1950s. They nicknamed this day because the city would be so overwhelmed with shoppers in the days before the big Army-Navy football game. Sand Skeleton asks, what was the first evolutionary stage of the human?
Back in the day, humans used to be these tiny, sluggish animals called babies. Eventually, though, some humans are able to earn enough experience to level up and become full-grown humans. It's actually kind of impressive.
You know, Nixium, I was actually born a baby. I wasn't always a bird.
Whoa, what? That's insane! That's actually really, really cool, Melissa.
Well, you know, it's just how I roll.
Melissa, we have got to do battle sometime. It will be a glorious showdown of raw power.
The first stage of human evolution has not yet been discovered. It is referred to as Chilka, or chimpanzee-human last common ancestor, when humans diverged from chimps. The oldest fossil thought to belong to the human line is Ardipithecus, dating back 4.4 million years ago, known as Ardi. It was discovered in Ethiopia in 1994 and shares most of its traits with chimps, although it may have walked and run on two legs and has much smaller teeth than apes.
All right, Melissa, let's go.
I'm out.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.